The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, boys and girls. Having major computer problems again today. Unfortunately, that's the things that are most difficult. But I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing, folks. You do what you want to do. This is the chart. We were in the gold market. We've been long gold here for several days. And what we're going to do now, if I can get these charts, oh boy, this is just not working out. I'm afraid that. All right, here's the chart in the gold. You'll see we had the big ABCD down to the 618. That was a perfect Gartley at 1760. We bought that at 1760. The low was 59.10, 1759.10. We went up, sold it 1796, bought it back at 1786, and we sold it today at 1788, 1827, and we went short there also. So we put that in. Now the short has got to stop at break even. I don't know if you can see any of that, but that's basically what I'm looking at here. So we're going to be seeing how that's working out. The reason why I brought this point up about Promontory Point is because I listened to a webinar here over the weekend, and it was by John Jameson. It was a private webinar, and he basically said where we are in the internet is where we, with cryptos and stuff like this, is where we were in 1869 with Promontory Point, where the railroads come together. Now the railroads, they didn't make their money on hauling freight or passengers. They made their money because as they moved the railroad across, every mile they were given 1 square mile. That was 680 acres. And the way it worked was they would get, on the first mile, they would get the north side of the east or west side of the track and left side. And as they went farther north and went another mile, they would get the right side. So every mile they would get 680 acres. And that's how these little towns broke up, popped up all over. And that's John says that's where we are right now. If you think you've missed the boat in these things, you haven't. What he's attempting to warn people now is that we pop up here to 68,000 and more. He's hearing things, on the internet, and believe me, he does a great deal of search of what people are doing and what moving. But big money has moved into this market. There's absolutely no question about that. Huge money has come in. They even got it on the exchange now. But what he's saying is now is the time where the seals are out there clapping for their food, and that's exactly the way he sees it now. He says he don't know how high this leg's going to go, but this is the area where you can really see something really dramatic happening. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know, but this is the beginning. I plan to, right after the first of the year, if not before, I'm going to put a little tiny segment, maybe 1 or 2 charts of things that are happening with the cryptos, and we're going to be looking at those. They're not easy to buy. You have to have wallets and all this other stuff. That'll end pretty quickly too. And the other prediction that he was saying, it will no longer be called Bitcoin or Ethereum. They'll be referring to it as Satoshis, is what they'll be talking to it about. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know. But he talked about this thing with Metaverse 4 years before anybody was ever talking about it, this data retrieval stuff. That was back in 2017. He did a whole program for TFNN then talking about Metaverse and how it was going to affect it. Now that's happening. Folks, you'll notice on that chart that we did for gold, that was a beautiful 3 drive to a bottom pattern. That's really a great pattern for trading, either long-term or short-term. I want to show you this morning because this is one that we featured in the video last night. On both sides. I'll get it up here, hopefully, in just a second. There we go. Maybe with a little luck here. Here we go. Here comes a little bit of luck. Hold on. Here we are. You'll see here, this is just a 4-minute chart And you can see they're really nice. That's over a 2.5 hour period. So that's a really nice pattern to trade. And you'll notice the high up there at the left, that 82.62. We highlighted that yesterday on the internet because that was that's where the 78% retracement is. Go back and look and you'll see that was a 78% retracement from the high. Then we got a pretty good bump off of that. But remember here, this is a contract that's worth $81,000. So you can trade it. It's incredibly easy to trade because the stops are filled 99% of the time very, very dramatically, and we'll see it. The other thing I wanted to mention is the talk about Elon Musk. He gets on Twitter and he talks about should I sell? Folks, he's playing games with you people. I hope you realize that. My guess is that if 70% of the 58% of the people said he should sell. If 70% of the people said that he should sell, I'm sure he would have bought more. At 58%, it's a toss-up. But believe me, those guys, all these guys, Peter Thiel, Mark Andreessen, and Elon Musk, a couple of them started PayPal and stuff. These guys were so far ahead of the curve, that you're not going to be able to compete with them. Boy, I don't even try to compete with them. I don't know what's going on in that market. Come on, guys. I have a hard time finding my email package half the time. So that's all I can do is I can look at small patterns, I can look at large patterns, and I have a pretty good idea of where we stand. And that's all I'm doing. Maybe that's why people just get tired of listening or whatever. I don't know what it happens to be, but that's what I have. That's what my forte is. I can't go beyond the scope of what I think I know. If I do, I'm going to get into a lot of trouble. I've never had that problem before because I don't really care. I don't care about the fundamentals and stuff. At dinner last night, we went out with a few people for a very, very casual bite to eat. And, basically they were asking me about the market and I was giving them ambiguity. I was being very ambiguous because I didn't know. I said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the market, but certain things that I think I know, that's what I try to latch on to. And I don't feel badly about that. Hell, I've been doing this for too long to feel badly about it. Here's another one that's really good. If you'll see here, this is the chart of the Treasury bonds. This is a daily chart, folks. You can see we went right up to the 61% retracement during the Fed meeting on Friday. We hit the exact number, 163.08. And at that point, we said this is probably where you want to be selling it. And today it's trading $1,500 lower. Do I know why it did that? Absolutely not. That's it. And you're right, Ruby. Elon Musk knows how to operate the markets, just like Carl Icahn, just like Warren Buffett. It's exactly, if you ever followed Warren Buffett's career, folks, he's a master at this. I have some charts on my old computer I'd love to bring up of where he said things was going. Thank you very much, Al, for letting me know. It's very, very similar to the stuff in the Livermore book. That's exactly right, G7. And that's why that Livermore book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, is so very, very important. We're going to have Paulo Douglas at the break. At the half-hour break. And here's our break. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, boys and girls, we're back. I posted the charts of the bonds that we were short and the gold that we're short. We were long gold. We got out of it. The longs went short at 1827. That was the ABCD, setting up perfectly. If you did that trade, put your stop at break even, 1827, and then we will review that as we go through. The stock market, basically, what I told the folks is I don't know for sure, but I can see and I can sense this. No, the webinar is going to be on the 17th, hopefully, because I've got to get these things taken care of, and I don't know if they're going to be done by Wednesday, and I can't do that unless I get it straight. So we're shooting for the 17th. So thank you, Bill, for bringing that up. We will do one more day trading thing before the end of the year, which will probably be my last one for quite a while. Okay, let's go back to some of these other things that we're talking about today, the crude oil and some of the other things, folks. When Mandel wrote his book about the geometry, when he was looking for that seed he found, of course, the ABCD pattern. You know, that's the basic of everything that I do. I mean, all these charts have ABCDs on them. The question is, how do you find out which ones are which? That's the major thing that you're trying to find out. Now, just about 15 minutes before the show popped out, we got a chart from our friend up in Toronto, Canada, Mike. And Mike, if you get a chance, call in today, because I have a very dear friend over in the UK, Ali Zaki, who was a student 18 years ago. We became very, 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 very close friends. Our families spend a great deal of time together every year, well, except for the COVID. But he's just a really, his whole passion, of course, he's been very successful at every business he's ever done, but he does trading now, and he does a great deal of market work. I've shared just a tiny bit of it over the years. He believes that this is the time of the year He was the one that was looking for November 5th as being the potential for the high. That was, of course, last Thursday. And, of course, on Friday, we had the explosive move to the upside. And I believe we're completing some more of these ABCD patterns that we've seen, all along. And that's one of the things that, when we do this is we're trying to say that this is what we're looking at. Now, I wanted to share with you a chart that just showing you what the total returns have been in this last segment from 2018. You talk about a blow-off move. This is a blow-off move that makes the one in 1929 look like a bear market. I hope that posted into the room. Let me double check to see if it did. Yes, it did. Anyway, that just shows you the relationship of what some of these things have done, how energy has been lagging. You can see the S&P, even though it's been great, has been lagging. But if you look at the NASDAQ and the semiconductors, and of course Tesla, remember folks, Tesla is trading up around $1,200. That's basically $5,000 a share, because just recently, just a year or so ago, it split 5 for 1. So that's basically, it's a $5,000 chart or stock that you're trading. So that's the main thing of what we're watching here. Now, I have another chart here that I have to bring up because someone sent it to me, and I think it's important because when we talk about ABCDs, we got to remember that sometimes, they do work. And this is one that was sent to us. Was it 6? I think it was 6 or 7 to 1. Yes. Okay. Now, this was a chart sent to us by one. This was one of my old charts going back in December of 2020, December 2020. You can see the ABCD they completed there at 250 in the crude oil, natural gas. And basically, the gentleman was saying, I went up and he said I was short up there at that 360, and then he said it came down to that level, and then he said he went long. This is the chart that he based it on. And I didn't get anywhere. This is the only one he sent me, and I was surprised that he kept it in his file. But from there, folks, crude oil. These computers are driving me nuts. The natural gas all of it went up to 6.5, so it tripled in price. So when we look at these things, remember, we'll take a look. Okay, August of 2020, Tesla split. I can't. 5 for 1. 5 for 1 was the split. So that would be, if it would make it a pretty much close to, really close at 1,200. That is a $5,000. It would be a $5,000 stock. But remember, when Musk is out there and he's asking you a question like that, basically he wants to see what the response is and how many people are listening and all that other stuff. He don't give a rat's patootie of whether you want to do anything or not. That guy's pretty darn smart. He's like Carl Icahn and some of these other really smart dudes that are out there to see how these things operate. So remind yourself of that. Now, getting back to the story about Ali Zaki, Mike from Toronto sent me this interesting chart on Fibonacci numbers, and I'll bring this up here so you folks can hopefully take a look at it here. I'll discuss it a little bit because we saw something like this from the Elliott Wave, folks, but unfortunately with the new laptop, I don't have everything in here that I usually do, but it basically showed that 2021 was going to be, a very big year as far as Fibonacci sequence of numbers, and this young man has broken it down into 89, 55, 34, and 21-year segments, and you can see they fit extremely well. So we're into that. He's working backwards, of course, from the bottom or the top of September 3rd, 1921, and then 1929, and then move forward. But all I'm looking at is the shorter-term pattern, folks, and I'm watching, how the market's reacting to all the news and the taper and the untaper and the fact that 2 Fed guys finally got caught with their hand in the till and all of that stuff. All the history books will go back and show it. So anyway, it was really a great chart. And the reason why I brought this attention to Mike is this is the first time, folks, in 15 years that Ollie ever asked to see any more information. He said, I would like to see more information on this young man, is what he said from this one chart. And he had a few others on Pythagorean theorem, but, I don't want to, waste your time and, take a look at this. Take a look at them because it's hard enough just to find the ABCD patterns. So remind ourselves that this is not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you don't lose. And that's what the whole key is all about. So I hope that helps. By the way, if you have any questions, it's 877-927-6648. And we got a break coming up pretty soon. And we will talk about the live hogs because we've had a pretty nice move in live hogs. And we wanted to chat with those a bit about it because it's an interesting situation that we have going on here in the food market because everybody thinks that the end of the world is coming in the food market. And frankly, it's like all of the other stuff. It's it's all a bunch of baloney as far as I can see. It's mostly fake news. Even this thing about the containers has probably already been solved, folks. That's my 10-4 of looking at it. Okay, let me know when the break comes up, Al. When we come back, we'll answer all the questions that we have coming into the den. Don't bother calling in now, folks, because the board is lit up. We won't be able to take calls right away, but in a few minutes, you'll be able to do that as soon as we get these questions answered from the other folks. And Paula will not be able to be our guest today, folks, because of technical difficulties. So you've got me on board, and we're going to look at a couple of these commodities, see where we are with some of these, because what we're seeing in the news and what we're seeing in the commodity markets are totally different things, folks. So.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
I'm sorry about laughing, folks, but I complain a lot about the computers, and folks, 99% of it is not the computer; it's the computer operator. Raise your hand, because that's where I run into a great deal of problems, folks. I posted a chart here from last Friday. Actually, it was Friday morning before the report came out. The fear of greed index was 85. It's probably 126 right now. I don't know what it would be, but it's probably higher because we've had higher highs. Anyway, let's keep our eye on the ball here to see how these markets react. We have not made a new high in the NASDAQ, nor have we made a new high in the S&P 500, but we certainly have in the Russell and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right. Let's talk about the hog market. That's always a fun one to talk about. Everybody likes to talk about the piggies. Let me get these up here and talk about it. And here's where we are with the piggies. We're talking about that double bottom. You'll remember we went through that whole sequence, and once the market had that yum trade that happened in that happened at 8100, and this is April hogs. I moved from December over to April. And so you'll see that what we've done now is we've come up to the 78% level. I haven't checked it today, but notice we had a gap up here last Wednesday. And so that's highly indicative that something dramatic has maybe happened in the hog market. The other thing I wanted to pay attention to you, and something that you've not seen before, if you go to the far left of the chart back in April, you'll see that there is a low there. I marked that as a 1. And then if you go up into May, I marked that one as a 2, and then you come down to the 382 retracement. I marked that as a 3, and you go up there to the 4, and you mark that as a 4. That was the Franklin Tubbs stock market course from 1955 that he charged $1,000 for. Remember, 1955, there were not that many people. Well, there were some traders, but nothing like what we have now. That was $1,000. The Gartley book. What is the small? Ruby's asking a good question. What was the smallest time frame that I trade? Ruby, basically, it's 4 minutes. It's a 4-minute chart, and the reason why I look at 2 minutes occasionally, the artificial intelligence that I do is all based on 2 minutes. We got that basically from the MIPS machine. MIPS means millions of integers per second. We bought that computer for $6,000 in 1992, and we ran it into the ground until 1994. It ran 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 years, just crunching numbers. And so it said that the 2 and 4 minute things were there. This is where we got most of our harmonic numbers came there. It showed what was the average swing, what was the first standard deviation, second standard deviation, and once they go beyond these levels, that's why these relate to the risk involved. That's why the Floor Trader's Handbook is so valuable, because it gives you those risk parameters that you really need. See, once the euros moves 45 pips, past 45 pips, there's something's going to around what's going to happen. That's correct. Yeah, Ether was trading at around 120 back then, because I was chatting with John Jameson at that time, and he was buying Ether at that time. So I am going to be doing more about the cryptos, but as you know, I'm in a covered wagon with Walter, my trusty burro, is pulling me around. So what you're going to get with me is going to be so doggone elementary. It's under. I would not be recommending buying any cryptos now. John is very, very nervous up here because of the fact that he follows the links and all these guys that are, there's thousands of these people out there, folks. I think they're much larger than our stock market, if you want to know the truth. And I don't know what the answer is, but John feels that the crypto markets and the way they're trading them, and they have, I think there's 585 different exchanges. I mean, you can count our exchanges on 2 hands. So this is the wild, wild west, folks. This is the promontory point of 1869. What we want to do, and I don't want to. I don't know when I'm going to finally buy a crypto. Hey, a year and a half ago in September, we did our first last September. So it's been 14 months. We did our first day trading thing. I told TFNN, I said, make it a guarantee. If we don't give everybody money's back. He says, we can't do that. And I said, why? And they said, well, it was the law. So if it's a law, that's it. But I felt so confident that I'd be able to do it over a 5-hour period. period, I was able to do that. I think we made like $4,000 on the first day. The second one we did well. The third one we did well, and this hopefully we're going to do well on the 17th. But the reason why I'm bringing that to your attention is these cryptocurrencies. There's thousands and thousands of these things out there, folks, and there's a lot of young people are out there searching for this stuff, and somebody's going to find something that make it work better than what's other. But you've got to watch. You know what John Jameson does for fun on Saturday and Sunday? He goes into the where they do the I can't remember. I've got so much. I'm taking so much stuff for my allergies, folks. I think it's affecting my mind. Anyway, when they go into what do they call copyrights? Where they go into the copyrights, he's checking into the copyrights to see who's applying for certain things. That's where he finds out that which these companies are work together and stuff. It is a new gold rush, but it's not a bubble anymore, folks. That's out. That shouldn't even think about it. I thought it was at one time, but no, it can't be, because it's been going on for too many years. It's something. The problem is it's something that's not easy to understand, and I certainly don't understand it easy. That's the other thing. I understand what the markets are doing up and down, and they trade technically pretty good. But the other stuff, I know very little about it. So we'll look at it. But remember, when they put Bitcoin in the first time in January of 2019, okay, it was trading at 20,000. It went from 20,000 down to 3,000. That was an 85% drop, folks. We've had 4 of those since 2012, 4 85% drops in Bitcoin. And the last one that we had was only about a 40% drop when we went from 68,000 or 66,000 down to 28,000. It dropped 20,000. That was only about a 40% correction. So that's it. Oh, hey, I'm just telling you, we got it. We have to start looking at it. And believe me, it's not easy to get a racehorse to run to the final furlong, and when you've already run 8 1/3 furlongs, it's hard to get that other ones. Someone asked me do I play Taser? No, I don't. I don't know what Taser is, but folks, I have never played a video game. I know my phone has it, but I've never played a video game on a desktop, regular top. I've never played a video game. Army, Navy, whatever it happens to be. And you folks might not know this, but one of the big developers in this stuff for the war games was Bill Meridian. He has some of the greatest research on war stuff going back, to the Peletian Wars and stuff. I mean, he's got all the stuff from the Civil War and World War I, World War II, all these things. They've been on computer. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I'm going to talk here just a tiny bit about, what's going on in the food markets. Everybody hears about the containers and all that stuff. That container stuff, that doesn't have perishable stuff, folks. For some reason, the perishable stuff that we get from these other countries comes in okay. It's the other stuff that's out there. So if you think that's not a game that's being played by the unions or whoever's doing it, that's exactly what's happening. They're just saying, oh, you want your stuff? Oh, I make a deal for you, darling. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that the food's coming through okay. There's a few problems here and there, but basically the stuff is out there. Now, I posted the chart of March soybeans, folks. A soybean plant consists of a bean which has 3 pods in it. In those pods, you have 20% oil, 80% meal. Meal is used in tofu, synthetic, when they talk about vegetable hamburger and stuff like that, most of it will be related to soybean meal because that's tofu. It's a very strongly, it's all protein, and that's where, why Japan uses so much of it, and also China. The oil that you're looking at is related to the cooking oil, and it's also related to the gasoline stuff because they can break this down into gasoline, and so for energy purposes, and so that's another reason why it's been so good. But look at the chart of soybeans, folks. They're telling us that there's a worldwide food shortage and stuff. Look what's happening to the price of soybeans, and we just had a monster move in the wheat market. I mean, we've been looking at that one, and we were fortunate enough to see the top come in here on the wheat because it was again, I know you're going to find this really hard to believe, but it was nothing more than an ABCD pattern here in the wheat. And as you can see that, there's going to be really strong support coming in. We're trading around 768 right now. But if we should get that wheat down to about 750, we're going to make that that'll be a 135 pattern in a bull market. You'll see the dark red lines, folks. I put those in to show you the time and price symmetry. In other words, I cloned the first one from October the 1st to the 18th, that 3-week cycle there. That's 12 trading days, and I did the same thing here. And if that's correct, towards the end of this week, we're going to be. We're over a new moon right now, but you'll be able to see that we're going to come down into some pretty good support here in the wheat market, and then we'll just see whether it's going. Now, we recommended that when you got up there to that ABCD, that was a beautiful 1.27 expansion up there at 808. We were looking at it intraday at 803, and we talked about it on the 24/7 program, or the videos that I send out on that. So that's why I watch them a little bit closer to just get down to see if the darn thing is going to work. Now, that's the same thing in the stock market, folks. If you remember, I was extremely unfriendly to the market when it was trading at 46.75, 46.78 was the high. We backed off to 46.60. But once we went through 46.80 to the upside, folks, there was no moving. I mean, it just went straight up. We got up to 44.13, but this is we're over some critical times. We're seeing a little bit of divergence. The fact that this is early in the day, folks. We got another. We go to 2 hours, another 4 hours to go, and so anything could happen. So all I'm saying is that be careful up in here with that greed index probably approaching 87 or 90%. That's like Elon. That's like Elon Musk out there talking about what's going on. Speaking of Elon Musk, let's take a quick look here to see how the old stock is doing there for Elon. I hope he doesn't have to go to food stamps yet or not. But let's just get a 15-minute chart up, and we'll probably, my guess, it's around 1200. 1187. Well, we'll see. And the high was what, 1248 or something like that. Give me a second. We'll get this up here so that we can see it. This is basically a $5,000 stock, and we'll be able to get this up here. 1 second. And the reason I bring this up, the reason why I bring this up is the fact that people are talking about it. Yes, I was able to find out Arch is still here in Tucson, but he's going to be moving back to North Carolina shortly. He has retired, and he's just having fun, I guess. So I tried to get him back on the show for a little reminder, and he said, he said it didn't want any more didn't want any more, what do you call it? Contact with the public. That's how we referred it. Let's take a quick look here at Tesla here on a 4-minute chart just for kicks and giggles here. I'll draw this in here and you'll be able to see. Now this is a $1,180 stock. All I'm looking at here is to show you the patterns here. If you'll notice here, if you like to trade, look at this, folks. This is remember, this is $1,100 stock. So let's assume it's a $180 stock. Look at the bottom that it made down there at 11:30. Okay, that's 4 minutes. So it goes up for 10 minutes and it backs off for about a half an hour, right at the 11:65. Now, if you follow what we teach here, and that's one of the things that we like to talk about. If we follow and teach with that, go back and check and see why it was important when it hit 1160. Why was that very important? Well, folks, that was the 382 of that move. And when that happened, boom, away it went. Where'd we go to? Went exactly to the 61% retracement at 1199. We're now trading at 1185. All we do is we expand them. We start out to put the trades on a 15-minute chart, and then we move them out daily, weekly, and then we define whether we have ones that are a little stronger. Let's see, we might have someone calling in right now. Mr. Z, is copper has bottomed. I agree with you, Mr. Z. In fact, I was bring that puppy up here because that was one of the ones that we were certainly looking at here over the weekend. And I saw it right here. There it is. Just a second. Major support in here in the copper. There's right from the newsletter. You'll be able to take a look at it. It's sitting right there, and I didn't see it. Old Z, pay attention to this chart, folks, because this has a 20-minute line on it. Take the high from May, take the high from July, and take the high from September and draw a line through that. I'm going to do that right now because this is a perfect 20-minute line. Thank you, Z. And I think we should take a look at this. This is really important in copper, folks. Because if we go back below 428 now, they're going to turn the lights out on this puppy. So give me 1 second here, and it'll only take me, I'll have it by the end of the break, but just a second here. What I'm going to do now is capture this and bring it up here so that we'll be able to see it. I'm about halfway through right now. I got it marked, and then all I have to do is to, oh dear, what do I have to do? Edit, just a second here. Hold on, someone's asking me a question now, so let's take a look at what we got here, and we'll be looking at it. 1 minute to the break. When we get back in the break, I'll have this 20-minute line drawn in, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, we'll be right back. Oh, not quite yet. We still got a couple seconds. If you do have any questions, 877-927-6648, and we'll go from there. Holy moly, guacamole. There's so much. Wow. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the copper that Mr. Z was talking about. You can see that dark red line that connects all the previous highs, and that connects right down to the 61% retracement. That was the name we gave that was called the 20-man line. And the reason why that's important, folks, it acts as a fulcrum. In other words, if it's right, copper is going to take off out of here and go a long way. And it's not just because of the 618 retracement. It's because all these things are lined up perfectly symmetrical. That's the reasoning behind it. I've seen so many of these. I mean, they don't happen very often, but when they do, and when they do, you pay very, very close attention to them. Now, let's talk a little bit more about ABCD. If you remember about a week ago, we were talking with a young man somewhere in the East that was long this stock called Z-Snap or whatever it was. ZS was a symbol, and we were looking at this 1.618 expansion there at 321. Folks, we've been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. We're now at 347. The first day that it closed above the 1.618, that was last Friday, that was telling you that market wanted to go higher. That's one of the advantages of the patterns, is when they get above these numbers, we don't know where they're going to go. You don't know where they're going to go anyway. Even if you think you know, you don't know. But anyway, that's what's happening. You notice we had a gap up today, another big gap up. So we're seeing some big things. The ZS is a monster. That's correct. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. I would have, if I were long that stock, I would have been out of it at 621. And you know what? I wouldn't even be looking at it. But someone asked me a question this morning on an email about what was happening with it. I have no idea. All I know is once it went above 1.618, I have no clue. And so, no matter how much fundamentals I read, I still have no clue. If I look at a chart, I have a clue. It's above 1.618. Get the hell out of town. You're wrong. That's as simple as it has to be. That's basically it. Go for the easy ones, folks. Don't try to find the hard ones. These patterns don't work all the time, and when they don't work, they do work because they're telling you something's wrong. Look at something else. That's the whole thing of what we're watching here. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.